couple of days off. Well, away from the baling and hay, and piling poop, and what else was I doing? Oh, I'm getting ready to haul cull cows, but we've had another summer calf. We were not expecting to calve. So, yeah. So another couple of weeks and then the cull cows will be leaving. So we're getting ready that the main herd needs to come down to this ravine here, but what we found out is we don't have good conductivity for electric fences. Cows mainly respect the fences. The calves, half of them don't even give a crap it's there because they just dip under so fast, come and go. What we found out is when you have bales sitting on the other side of the fence, they're a little incentivized to come through, even when there's 2 feet of grass. So I want to try and get this baled up and hauled away as quick as possible. And on the north side of the ravine, North Dam Field, that stuff, right there. Lots of bales out of there. But this is what I was talking about. I'm hoping you can hear me. The regrowth in this stuff, this short grass, is full of nutrients because the grass is on a growing cycle. So it's pushing everything up to creating new shoots. New shoots are where the best amount of nutrients are. So even though it doesn't look like much, they will love this. They will, if you left this gate open, they would come out here than stay in there in that long grass. That's cattle. As you can see, the headlands that were cut earlier is really growing back billy goats. So I'm hoping the stuff that was later cut, that's now baled, it'll catch up now too, for a good second cut. The silage, where we did the silage, which was supposed to be hay, is pretty well ready to cut again. But, like I said, we'll visit that whenever. Anyway, I just wanted to show you this. Like I said, it is light land, and this stuff was damp yesterday, bone dry now today. There's about 6 or 7 rows left in this field. There's actually green on the underside of the swath. So I want to rake them, but as you can hear, don't rake today, especially not if it's a north and south swath. That's west. So yeah, baling time. We'll bring you back. Back baling. And yeah, we're down to the final last little corner of the field where Satan's little pets all live. Yeah, you can still tell. It's not the thickest of growths at this part of the field, but I figured it was this deep into it, might as well get her done. It's actually, here's really gravelly, so it gets a little bit heavier further away, but it wasn't worth raking it up and having it blown away because it was blowing pretty hard today. So yeah, we're doing not too bad. We're over 2 bales to the acre on this field, and like I said, it's sand, so that's doing pretty good. Anyway, I'll bring you back. People that don't know, that's called foxtail barley. That's what happens when you don't burn those wet spots off when they go to full term. It turns into a snowdrift. And that stuff is hard to get out of your land. So trying something a little bit different because I've had issues. Thought it might be this net wrap because this is new stuff. This is the stuff we bulk bought from Verdun Ag. But trying to give it the benefit of the doubt. So what I've done, and I saw somebody on the interwebs did this before, because I did a video where I showed cleaning this out. That's the blade where it snacks off your net wrap, because it is actuated electronically. So that's why you have to make sure you always have your RPMs up, so that the electric actuator cuts off properly. So I put it back together when I cleaned it out last time, and I sharpened up the blade. Well, I just kind of buffed it. And the one video the guy said, you know what, I didn't even put the scraper back on. There's a bar with brushes that keeps this clean. Now, for the most part, that should never be in contact with any crud. But chaff and stuff will get flicked, and it got stuck up between the brush, the knife, and that roller on either end. And I was having trouble with rat tails on either end, and then they would get wrapped around the edge wrap corkscrew part, which I don't use edge wrap, but there's no real way to take them off. Still clean, that's good. So I figured, what the heck, I'll try it. So I've been running without that wiper. I did 100 bales over there, and I've done 25 in here so far, and it seems to be going well. So yeah, there seems to be something to that. As long as you're not baling up any high moisture stuff, like if you're doing wrapping bales or tube wrapping or whatever, if you're doing dry hay, not haylage, you can take that off. So bloody wind. Yep, showed up last night in the dark, in the middle of the night, right before I'm about to bale it. Made that mess. Arrgh. So here I am. Like I said, all the bales that didn't wrap, like there's a couple you can see there. Yeah, I've got the swath still down here. There's a, hopefully get them done up tonight, because the underside was still green. So they should be good to go. The reason I'm stopped here while getting this bale, because I'm feeding this stuff to the cull cows that have calvet foot, so they need some really good grub. Might as well give it to them. Is this. So this is our silage crop, which will now be green feed or wrap bales. Depends how the year rolls out. But just to show you, absolutely astounding. Yeah, it's not like record-breaking tall. You can see by the fence posts here. So the fence posts are about 4 feet tall. So the oats are about 3 feet, because it slopes up away from the camera here. The oats are about 3 feet tall on average. Some are getting closer to 4 feet, like up there where you see it's darker, more rich soil, like over there. See the lighter parts of where it was either drier or it was actually more moisture, too much moisture. But the thing that is absolutely crazy is how clean it is. There's no spray on that field, because what can you spray? There's alfalfa at the bottom. So you've got oats, which is a grassy crop, cereal, and then you have alfalfa, which is a legume, and it's a broadleaf. So there's nothing really you could spray on it. There was no pre-seed burn off, because we were kind of aiming to get away from sprays. But this just shows you in a good rotation, like baling or silaging or grazing, and the right competition. Because if you look, you'll see these little patches every so often where there's like a gap, and you see there's a little bit of sweet clover and there's some kochia in some of them, not all of them, but some of them. Now that was an actual breakdown with the cedar that John Deere zero till seeder that we rented. It has an issue where the ground drive clicks in and out unexpectedly depending if you're on a slope. And last year I fixed it by wrapping hockey tape around it. Hockey tape fixes everything. And they said it wasn't an issue anymore, so I gave it the benefit of the doubt, and yeah, on the 4th pass it clicked out. So there's half a row around the field that I didn't realize as far back that it had gone out. So I'd gone back and done some of it, but obviously not all the way around. So that will have to be patched in either at the end of the year or next spring. I have seeds so I can go fill that in. But when you look across it, you're going, wow, like there's no thistle. There's a little bit of wild oats, which is not a big issue for us, and a little bit of kochia. You can see along the edge where it's more prolific. But yeah. So yeah, there's going to be a good bit of crop coming off of that. You can kind of see in the bottom, maybe in the next, well, maybe later on in this video, I'll actually take a walk off into it. I can't stop right now because I'm in the middle of something, and we'll take a good close look at it because the alfalfa is coming up at the base of the plants, so there will be alfalfa in the oats, in the feed, in the bale, so it's going to make some really nice stuff. But yeah, no fertilizer, no spray. Giggity. Well, you can make this out. So that's just above thigh high on me. And so yeah, there's lots of undergrowth. So yeah, there should be a lot of good bales out here. Like I said, it's pretty dang clean considering. No spray, no chemicals. So yeah, there's weeds, but get that out of the way, that's alfalfa. So there's probably half the height again of the oats in alfalfa. Like I said, that's the rest of the field, and then you get up here onto the sand. This is where the corn and the kochia, this is where that sort of failed last year, and we did the green wrap bales. Like I said, not great up here, but we kind of knew that. Like there'll be a tiny little swath here, no doubt, but there's the alfalfa trying to take over. Next year, I'm pretty sure you'll see an absolute field and a carpet of alfalfa here, because it is everywhere. The oats didn't do so well up here, but that's why we put the bale yard here, because it is sand, perfect spot. And on a normal year where you get consistent rains, this will produce a crop. But for all of the moisture we had earlier in the season, we've been dry, so. Okay, I'm going back cutting. So, everything's all baled up, all the rows, so now there's all this loose stuff everywhere. Now, if I had one of those big 14-wheel V-rigs, that would be just dandy. Just go around to all of the kind of areas wherever the plow wind hit it. And get this wrapped up pretty good. But actually what I'm doing right now is I'm going around to wherever there was foxtail barley, because I would just cut straight through the low spots, and when I was baling I would miss them out. I gotta come back and get these ones done. And then come back at the end once all the hay is baled up, and I bale the foxtail barley up, wrap it. I know people will be like, well, why would you wrap it? Well, I wrap it so that the stuff doesn't get away from me. So I wrap it, and that way I can carry it out of the field. And quite often what I'll do is I will drop the bales into a slough or a wet area, typically one where there's no cows going to get at it, and just dump the bale in there and let the ducks use it as a nesting platform. Because what else are you going to do with this stuff? Because it is nasty stuff. So yeah, just going to bale all this up and then get back to picking up all the little blowaways, and then get back to bale picking. So yeah, heading out, back bale picking, and quickly found out the bale picker will no longer fit down the driveway because the arm catches the branches now, but that's okay. But yeah, company out working for Hydro. I tell you, I'll put in a picture here. Now, if there was a machine that I would love to have sitting around for projects, that would be one of them. Those mulchers, holy, like for cleaning up along the fence rows. And then we have a bunch of poplar groves that are dying out and falling down into the hay and on top of fences. Boy, I could use that machine. Only problem with those machines, because I do watch a lot of videos on those mulchers, the carbides, the teeth for them, very expensive. But like I said, boy, I could find a lot of jobs for that machine. But I'm gonna get greased up and oiled up and go move some bales, because I want to get the bales moved away from the ravine. I don't know if I said this in the video already, because if the calves can see the bales from their fence line, they will sneak out and go and wreck the bales. So get at her. That's the field. Over there. The reason I'm filming is there's the foxtail bales, one of last year's. So yeah, it just makes a little platform. That way that the kestrels or the falcons or whatever can sit on there, or ducks, geese, whatever, can sit up there and get away from the coyotes, because there's coyotes literally everywhere. And they're right next to a slough there, as you can see by all the cattails. Oh, I'm going to be so glad to be done with this field. Like I said, this still has a really good catch between alfalfa and the grasses, as you would have seen in the last video where I was cutting it. So I can't justify ripping it up yet. Switch this off. But next on the rotation is that field over there, the South Dam field. There's hardly any alfalfa left over there, and the grass varieties are dwindling. So yeah, it's next on the list. We probably won't rip that one up. I might drag that one and then stitch it in, but this will be dragged, because literally the fastest you can go in this field is 7 miles an hour. Or you risk doing damage, literally breaking the tractor in half. And it's crazy to think that this is all just coyotes, gophers. But yeah, so you've got anywhere from like a medium clay loam here to white clay up in the hilltops, and that's where the gophers are worst. Because up on that white clay, the ground is quite solid, so they can build all the tunnels they want up there and they'll never risk getting flooded out. And they have access to the whole field and bush and everywhere, so yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. Please. So yeah. And that's what happens in the bumps. They'll completely bounce right out of the arm. So yeah, 111 bales off of roughly about 40 to 45 acres. Not really sure, it's hard to measure this field. We'll get a measurement when we seed it. We'll be moving some of the fence lines, but so yeah, job's a good one. On to the next one. Now for the big migration to the south farm. Get out of the way. Come on, ladies. Come on, acres. Oh, girls, the flies are crazy bad. Hey, Felicia. Yeah, I got some new garlic tubs for them. Once they're down here, I'm going to set the tubs up down by the dugout. Should be happy. Come on, ladies. There's Lamar. And there's Maximus. There's the pudding. Still got that wee limp. Sometimes it bugs her, sometimes it doesn't. I see you running. Yeah, you guys are no hurting for a food. Come on, Penny. Oh yeah, there's our little group of lawbreakers over there. Like I said, that's why they like that short stuff. Come on, Penny, let's go. Yeah, this could be a while. They take forever. Heading to the south. The nice thing is they have trees away to the south there by the dugout. They like to go and hang out there. Oh, now the babies have just figured out. Oh. Where are you guys going? Oh, we want to come. Oh, this seemed like such a good idea. Billy, you said it would be fun over here. Mom's leaving now. I don't know where my shorts are. Aww. Hey, Penelope. One of the lucky ones. She did not have a baby this year, but she gets a second ride. There's the Stumpers. Oh, Stumpers, you got that foot again. I think she has a crack in her hoof. Girl. Yeah, they're away. Okay. Wait for the last ones and then shut them in. They're getting shut in here. Because once they're in here, they have a water source down there. And then once they start to get done with this, then we'll let them through into the other field. Old timer, she's got a bad foot. There we go. Giggity. And yes, I think the title of this video will be second cut? Barely done the first cut. Yeah. So, it's kind of hard to tell from here. See, there's flowers. So it's flowering and it's still the first week of August. So it's too long to leave it sit for one big second cut. We got bit by that in the first cut when the stuff got too tall and it's hard to dry down, especially at the end of the year when it gets cooler, shorter days, it's harder to cure down swaths. That's my kind of thinking. Plus, as you can see, them swaths aren't too shabby. And that's the outside row, it's a little thin in the outside half. So we're going to knock down at least a dozen outside rows because we've got good weather for this week, and cutting it shorter like this, it'll cure up quicker. So yeah, I've still got the bales to haul off the other fields, but if I get this down and then while this is curing, I can get those hauled off. Plus I've got highway curing right now. So yeah, second cut underway. Yeah, you'd hardly believe it. With all the wet weather we're having early in the season. Yeah, she's dry. Tires aren't even wet. Yeah, well, might as well go straight through it than round it. So, now that I'm into it, nice. Now the funny thing is that most people watching this channel don't know, this is the first time we've ever done second cut hay in August. Never mind the first week of August. Tomorrow will mark 5 weeks exactly to the day since the headlands and this bottom of here was cut. It was right after Canada Day, I think it was. That monster crop. So that's 5 weeks. We haven't had any real big measurable rain for almost 2 weeks now. We've had moisture. We've had a tenth here and half a tenth there, but no real big rains for almost 2 weeks now. So there's quite a few bales out there. So you can actually see the remnants of the rows that get blown around when our silage guys come in here to clean up all this mess. Wobemuth teeth there. They did a great job. Like, I was expecting there to be more trash out here, but you can just pick out the odd spot here and there. There's this one row here, it seems like it might have got lost, but like I said, the disc spine just sucks it up and sticks it into the next swath. So yeah, we were only talking about maybe putting the headlands down, and then that way we could have this, make sure, because there's a chance of rain coming next weekend. But that's Sunday, and that gives us 6 days. So it might be just a case of today and tomorrow, get as much of this cut down and on the ground as I possibly can. And the nice thing is, compared to that field over there, I am going hard stick forward, because it's fairly smooth. And because it's not as heavy as the first cut, I can really dive into it and lay these swaths down. So I'm going to go on and get this knocked down. So I'll probably upload this video tonight, and so in the next one you'll probably see us baling the highway hay and probably baling this stuff. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. You can see the cows. Seem like they're behaving away over there. You just kind of see them. Stay away from the bales over there, ladies. So yeah, see you in the next one.